Hi, I'm Dylan Somerville, and today I'm going to be talking about what's next for the magical elements. Now, the magical elements are two elements currently that are able to interbreed with natural elements. They have not actually cross-met yet, at least that we know of, and currently their islands situate where the previous Space and Cloud Island were situated in Dawn of Fire. Around that area. I'm still not entirely sure if they've like moved, like how possibly like they've crash landed, kind of like how Starhenge did. But then again, Starhenge kind of worked off of some sort of power, and Cloud Island is just kind of clouds. It would be odd if they just fell from the sky. And then Space Island is literally planets, so it would also be weird if it fell out of the sky. Speaking of which, that planet is really small in comparison to the monsters. I mean, like, it's pretty big for a furcorn, but just for any monster, that planet that's in the middle of that island is quite small. You can't exactly call it a planet. But then again, there's like planets around it, but I'm pretty sure that's just perspective. Because like I'm pretty sure those planets are. I'm getting off topic. I'm going to be talking about the magical elements. Now, you may be wondering why this video is coming late. After all, this information was confirmed a while ago, and that's kind of like when Fairy Island was first introduced, before December, before Christmas, maybe even in November. I think that was when it came out. But that's because I was on vacation in Ottawa. I was with my family. It was Christmas time. I didn't get any time to film. And now that I'm back, I have this perfect interval between getting back from New Year's to going to school. I have no one in this house because my cousin is at work and I don't really want to talk about my life. I'm here to talk about My Singing Monsters, which is essentially my life because I spend so much time there. Or at least talking about it, stuff like that. I'm getting off topic. I should just stick to the script. Now, I have some evidence besides the islands being situated in those places that there's only going to be two more magical elements. Yes, two. Not three, not one, two. So, my first piece of evidence, like I've said before, Psychic Island is situated where Space Island used to be, and Fairy Island is situated where Cloud Island used to be. That's pretty good evidence. So that would mean that there's still Cave Island and Party Island that would still need to get their own magical element. Also, you know how people kept thinking that a fifth outer island was going to be coming? That has been proven wrong because that coming soon sign has gone away. What they were actually advertising were the prismatics, because it went away the update that the prismatics came, so I kind of put two and two together, got four. So that just means that there's only Party Island and Cave Island left that are going to be getting magical elements. If they don't add any more, I wouldn't be surprised per se, but I wouldn't be that happy about it. I mean, after all, they're depriving us of 16 new monsters. What's with a big blue bubble if you're not going to be able to do that? I mean, I'm sure the next is not going to be for a while. I mean, they rolled out two within like 6 months. Was it? Yeah, within half a year they rolled out with 16 new monsters. I doubt we're going to get another one for a while. Maybe until like summer. That may even be pushing it. I'm still a bit upset about there not being any new Wordos. That's kind of scaring me. Although, I'm not here to talk about Wordos. I'm just getting off topic. I just love My Singing Monsters. Let's get to my second bit of evidence. It kind of relates to back when it was Fire Frontier, not Psychic Island. So remember when we were able to choose the element? We were able to choose between air, cold, and earth. If we chose earth, we'd be getting the Thrumble and Edamame. If we chose cold, we would be getting Susa and Incisor. And if we chose air, we'd be getting Bisonorous. Now, obviously, those kind of relate, but not really. We didn't get any of those, but we will be getting those. I'm not talking about the Quadzilla, I'm talking about the triple elementals. Yeah, so far we have had 8 of the 10 fire triple elementals. those being Flugel, Repetillo, and Barb on Fire Haven, Wink, Willoughby, and Waddle, all W's. Oddly enough, there's water, although they don't all have water. That kind of worked out perfectly how they're all W's. But then we also got the 7th on Rudatoot, and also we now have Ziggurat, which is 8, meaning we only have Sousa and Thrumble left. That's 2. Yeah, I think I should explain this perfectly. We have 2 Outer Islands left, 2 triple monsters, and 1 last 2 left. If you look at all the monsters on the current Fire and Magical Islands, you'll know that if you look at the natural double elementals, no fire double elementals, because that's another story, there is 1 of each natural double element monster. Those being Dandidoo, Shrub, and Cybop on Fire Haven. We have Maw, Quibble, and Pango on Fire Oasis. Then we have Octopus on Fire, not Fire Frontier, but technically we did get Octopus on there when it was called Fire Frontier, so technically you could say that. But we have Octopus on Psychic Island, and we now have the new Jumpler on Fairy Island. That just leaves Flog and Furcorn. A lot of alliteration today. Flog and Furcorn. It's just weird, because Furcorn usually is like always the first thing that they use. Like, Furcorn was the first rare, Furcorn was the first epic, Furcorn were the first to go through the prismatic gates. And yet Furcorn could be the last natural double element monster we see in Dawn of Fire. I mean, My Singing Monsters, Magical Islands, Fire Islands. You kind of understand what I'm trying to get at? Just to summarize, we have 2 Outer Islands from Dawn of Fire that could be operated, or I should say, what's the word? I'll just cut all this out. That could be inhabited. And also, we have 2 triple elemental fire hybrids yet to be revealed, or yet to be discovered in My Singing Monsters, the original game, and 2 natural double elementals yet to come to a fire/magical island. 2. There's just too much evidence pointing to there being just 2 more islands. There's just so much evidence saying that there's going to be 2 more islands. You can also kind of make a guess as to what these 2 new elements could be. I mean, after all, on Space Island, where Space Island used to be, Psychic. When it comes to space, I think of like sci-fi. Sci-fi usually has like enhanced mind. Psychic abilities are also another big thing in sci-fi. Science fiction, like maybe some very enhanced brain power causes psychic. I mean, seriously, Theromind has a giant brain. And plus he summons mouths from elsewhere, which is also a very science fiction thing. And then we get to Fairy Island. Fairy tales. Cloud Island. It seems that, like, clouds. Usually you say, like, don't get your head in the clouds when you're daydreaming. Dreams usually happen while you're asleep. Clouds remind you of dreams. Dreams happen while you're asleep. How do you get to sleep? Fairy tales. Fairy tales are a very close representation with sleeping, which is why Fairy Island, also a very light thing. Like, fairies seem like very upbeat and happy things, even though it's not like the flying fairies, it's more fairy tales. It just reminds me a lot of Cloud. It just fits that perfectly. So we can kind of think about what next 2 elements are going to be. One of them is going to be where Cave Island is. So, Cave Island. What do caves remind you of? They kind of remind you of underground, kind of a bit scary. Maybe something is living down there. Because when I think of caves, I kind of think of like dragons living in caves. Well, that's like the closest thing to magic I could think of. I mean, we are kind of sticking with this. I mean, it's kind of a Pokemon train if we go with dragon. Uh-huh. Psychic, fairy, and dragon? What's next? Poison? Or ghost? Hmm. But to be completely honest, that's really the only thing that I could think of for what magical could be in cave. I mean, after a little bit of a brain fart, after thinking crystal would have been new, joke's on me, because crystal's already an ethereal element. I highly doubt that they'd make another element of crystal, even though there's giant crystals on Cave Island. It would be interesting. I mean, like, caves, dragon. Like, dragons are not all just like fiery beasts. Dragons are well known across multiple religions. Like in both Asia and Europe, there's dragons. Dragons are more elementals. They're kind of wielders of elemental magic. It's it's kind of like that. Maybe some sort of rock elemental magic. Yeah. Of course, one more thing that we could think about is what other elements are going to be on these islands. I think that Fwog is going to be next, with Earth and Water appearing on the Cave Island. And then when we go to Party Island, which is kind of going back around like Space Island, Cloud Island, Cave Island, Party Island. When we go back to Party Island, we're going to be getting cold and water and plant. Sorry, cold and plant and Furcorn, the last monster. But then again, they could be flipped after all with Space and Cloud Island. Uh, which monsters appear on those two? Octopus appears on Cloud Island, and guess what appears on Space Island? Jumpler. If they kind of wanted to do that, they kind of swapped the elements on us. So it could be the same. Furcorn may be on Cave Island, and Fwog could be on Party Island. It would make sense. Parallels. That was just my own thought on that part. But finally, I think the last thing and most important thing, what is going to be on Party Island? Party Island. Party Island is a very unique island in My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire. It's the first island to have a monster carrying the island. If you look down at the bottom, there's like a grumble or a gubbler. I think that's what they're called. They like the monster handler said it somewhere, but it carries the island. And it kind of confuses me how they were able to add on more to the party island and nothing happened. I would have expected it to just like sink down. I mean, if four more giant rocks were to be put on something on my back, I would just collapse. Of course, I'm pretty sure they float and they're not actually like holding it up. I'm sure they're more of like a flotation device that's really, really buoyant. So, it's pretty good at lifting things. I really should be talking about Party Island and what magical element it might be there. Although I need to continue on with the whole it being an interesting island. After all, Party is a type of celebration. Celebrational elements kind of seems like something they've already done. So I had to think deeper. What magical thing could relate to parties? And that's when I came up with actual magic. I know we have psychic, but that's not really magic. We have fairy, but it's not fairies, it's fairy tales. Then we also have possibly some sort of dragon element, draconic, elemental magic, but we don't have magic. Or like the fake magic. You know, like the black and white wand, top hat, cape, pulling a bunny out of a hat. That type of magic. You know, like at a birthday party when you get one of those like those fake magicians to come by and do magic. Maybe something like that. I don't know exactly what it would be called, but something maybe based around that. Like it can't just be called magic. I mean, it's not like there's any reason it can't be. I mean, if it is the last one, then it would be interesting if they just did magic. So that's pretty much all I have to say. One last thing, I highly doubt time will be coming. I know a lot of people like fantasize over time being a new magical element, but I highly doubt it. I mean, like, really, what would the elemental of time be? A metronome? That just seems weak and pathetic. Sorry for all of you time element lovers out there. I just don't see how it could be an element in the first place. I mean, they're not going to make another. They're not going to make another metronome monster. If you don't know, they've already made a metronome monster. I hope a lot of you have noticed, but Tapricorn is a metronome monster. Two beats going back and forth. If no one saw that was a metronome monster, I don't know who would have. And it may just be in my mind. I mean, when I first thought of time and I thought metronome and I saw Tapricorn, I thought, wow, this sounds like a metronome. I mean, I don't hate Tapricorn. I mean, no, I mean, like, this is a very unique way of taking on a metronome. I'm just saying, they've already made a metronome monster. What would they make for time? And plus, time is a very in-physical element, and I don't have enough time to get into that. Just trust me, if you want to yell at me about it, about all of these other elements not being physical, just put it in the comments. I'll get to you. I'll maybe even explain what non-physical and physical is in the description. But anyways, I gotta go. Bye.